Hey everyone, it's Renee Cormier from the Fractional Referral Network. Today we have, I was going to say Monty, Elliott Perry in the house from Monty. And Monty is a software that's designed specifically for fractionals to help them with their taxes. It's US taxes, so they're not quite international yet, although Elliott is originally he's British, but he does have a home in New York. So Elliott's the co-founder, and he's going to walk us through Monty today and show us how to save some money. Go ahead, Elliott. The floor is yours,
Yes,
and I'll let you share
thank
your
you, Renee.
screen if you need to.
Yeah, I will. And that is a consequence of naming your company a proper noun. I have had people reply to my emails and call me Monty. It happens quite often. Um, yeah, so a tiny little bit of background here as I pull this up. The three founders of Monty have a background in wealth management. For the last 3 years or so, we were building AI tools for financial advisory firms. And we were building some quite sophisticated tax tools. And candidly, we got really excited about taking those same tools that these rich old boys were using and bringing it to more people in the world. Entrepreneurs specifically, we're entrepreneurs, very passionate about entrepreneurship. And Monty is a young company, but it's clear that it's resonating with fractionals most. And so we've kind of oriented everything towards fractionals, all of our marketing, all of the product. And so it's a purpose-built AI tax advisor for fractionals. The ultimate ambition with Monty is to be as sophisticated as the most sophisticated CPA. It should be able to look at W-2 income, 1099 income, your K1s, a real estate portfolio, tell you how to structure yourself legally. I think at the end of the day, we have a tax code and we have humans interpreting a code, but that's what machines are great at. That's what AI is phenomenal at. And you do see a spectrum of competency when it comes to CPAs. And I think there's an opportunity to build a best-in-class one, leveraging the best of both worlds, human and AI in one. I think we would all agree you want to pay exactly the right amount of tax. Obviously, you don't want to pay less than your fair share, but you don't want to pay more than you need to. And so Monty's here to solve that problem because it's way more complicated and expensive than it needs to be. So Monty right now does two things. It does automated bookkeeping. So it automatically reconciles your accounts on an ongoing basis, and it finds you every tax deduction that you could be taking advantage of. And I'll walk us through what that looks like right now. So I've skipped onboarding for the sake of brevity here, but when I signed up to Monty, I had a little conversation with the AI, similar to how OpenAI or other chatbots work. And importantly, I discussed all of my lines of business, so it fully understands what I do and how I earn my money, even if that's multiple companies, multiple different revenue streams. Then I securely connected my read-only bank feed via Plaid, a leading data provider connecting fintechs like us with your banking providers. And so straight away, I've connected my business bank. We use Mercury here, and these are our business accounts. And I haven't set this up ahead of the demo. I haven't come in here and set up rules-based accounting like QuickBooks or Xero. This is just fresh out the box, and Monty has categorized everything for me. And we're looking back at 2025 retroactively, because Monty can do an entire year retroactively, or it can also do 2026 on an ongoing basis. And in the same way that you would log into, say, QuickBooks to reconcile your accounts, you can just log into Monty and see your P&L position at any point in time with all of the categorization completely automated. So that's bookkeeping, effectively automated. But I've also connected my personal checking and credit card accounts. And I suspect that there's probably additional tax deductions that I could take in here. But, looking back at 2025, this is a year's worth of living. There's, I don't know, a couple thousand transactions in here. So it's quite onerous to trawl through it all. Plus, I don't know as many branches to the tax code tree, what exactly is deductible. And even the most competent CPA that I know doesn't trawl through every personal account looking for every conceivable deduction that could be taken. And so that's what Monty does. And so I'll walk us through a few examples of what it looks like here. So straight off the bat, we've got something interesting because we've got Amazon, which is a generic retailer, of course. We can't know from this description on a bank statement line item what that pertains to. But Monty also securely connects to emails, and it uses the date and the amount to match order confirmations and receipts. And so it can see that this Amazon purchase is an ink cartridge and is potentially a business expense. I think there's even an example here with multiple transactions in a single order. So even if in a single order you were purchasing, say, children's toys, something completely unrelated if you're a fractional people officer, and some legitimate business expenditures, Monty's going to pick up all of that nuance and highlight that those are likely deductible, which they are. So in this case, Monty's doing something really smart. So I have separate business and personal accounts and try to make sure that all the expenses are on the business account. But life, I think in this case, the outbound flight to this business trip to Chicago, I reached for my personal card. And Uber, I forgot to switch from the personal to the work profile, and so paid on my personal card. But Monty can see that the other charges associated with the trip were paid on my business card. And so it's inferred that these were likely accidentally placed on my personal card, which is exactly the case. So it's using intelligent signals to pick up where I've missed potential deductions. So yeah, we'll cash those in. This is an obvious one, my ChatGPT subscription. I just really need to transfer it. I must have originally signed up with my personal card, but it's great at catching things like that, subscriptions you signed up for quite some time ago that you could miss. Similarly here, I'm in AI, and so I dabble with a bunch of tools, and I paid for these on my personal card, but Monty is highlighting an understanding of the tools and an understanding of my profession and connecting those two things, relating it to the tax code and saying, hey, you could deduct these. Good catch, Monty. So it's not just email receipts, it's also email event confirmations. So here at Eventbrite, this is an AI workshop, which is, again, being distinguished from, I don't know, personal events like some sort of Sunday fun run, a picnic, something like that, that's family oriented. It's going to understand all of that nuance and highlight them. And if at any point you've got questions about any of this stuff, you can just pull up Monty here and ask Monty a question. You see, that's quite a broad question, so I'm going to get quite a broad answer. But you can ask it about specific transactions, give it the detail associated with it to make sure that it is deductible and staying on the right side of the law there. And
so if you accidentally put a personal purchase on your business credit card, Monty will also pick that up and say, this doesn't belong here.
yeah, very much so.
Okay.
And that's a common situation that we find because also a lot of fractionals that we speak to still have mixed accounts and don't have dedicated business banking. And so it's really important to be able to pass through that and understand which side does it fit on, business or personal. And in this instance, we've got the few, I'm New York, so I eat out probably way more than I should do. I spend a lot on restaurants. But in here, we've got the few instances where on the same day that the bank transaction comes in, there is a meeting on my business calendar at the same venue. And so Monty's tying up those two bits of information and saying, hey, you paid with your personal card here, but it looks like you had a business meeting, which in all of these cases is true. And so you can see within a few minutes there, under 5 minutes, we found an additional couple $1,000 worth of tax deductions. And we would come through to the reporting section. And this is where we would produce a P&L. We would export that and then hand that to our CPA along with our other prep documents that we send them. Or if we're somebody that files via TurboTax, Tax Act or similar, we would take that information and put it directly into there. So that's Monty in a nutshell. It's trying to automate bookkeeping to save people a bunch of time. keep the books really neat and organized on an ongoing basis with very little lift, and then making sure that you're capturing every available tax deduction.
And so if you sign up for Monty today, for example, will it go back and look at your calendar year for the previous tax year? Will it be able to dig through your old transactions, or is it like starting now?
No, Monty works entirely retroactively. So people are using it as we speak to file for 2025. And that includes people that did not do any accounting or bookkeeping throughout the year, get right to the end, a little bit nervous, maybe the kind of people where tax gives them a bit of anxiety. And Monty comes in and does everything retroactively for them.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because there's nothing more stressful, especially if you hate this shit.
Well,
When you hate
I
detail, and that people who love detail maybe are, this is great, but people like me, I hate the details and they give me anxiety. Even if I've got my shit together, it just the thought of it is like, oh my God, I hate it.
Well, I think as people who are very passionate about, technology or people ops, or, we get into this to deliver that service, not to deal with all of the back office
Yeah.
legal and compliance and admin and tax. And so, yeah, our hope is that this can just free up headspace and bandwidth for
Oh
fractionals to
yeah.
focus on driving more business, delivering more of their service, and let Monty handle the tax.
Yeah. There's nothing actually more I find restrictive for your business and your creativity than knowing that
Mm,
you've got this thing that you've been putting off and you have to deal with and you hate it. Like you want to move forward, but this is like it's like this dirty monster on your shoulder. So I love that. I can't wait for that to be available in Canada. Get busy, mister.
So, question you were referring to, like connecting it with your email and to get additional information. If you don't
mm,
have that email information available, like I have a CRM, so I'm good at putting the right information in my CRM and then deleting information out of my email. So, is
mhm.
there an opportunity to connect with the CRM, or could you just go through the information like, yes, me either doing my research on going onto Amazon to verify was this work or toys for my kids, et cetera, can you also just pick through them individually? So two questions there.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll answer it in two parts, Monica. So the first one is, yeah, Monty is a fully comprehensive bookkeeping solution here. So we could come in, and I think in this case, all of mine are uh, completely automatically categorized. But if you still wanted to do the job of categorizing, we would scan down here and we would make sure, and this is where we'd make any changes. In the case of mixed or personal accounts where we're looking for additional business expenditure to deduct, we can come through here and we can search and filter in various ways. Amazon, okay, let's just pass through my Amazon transactions. We can look at specific categories. Okay, I know that my wellness spend is particularly deductible. And you can even do it actually via the Monty chat. And so we can have a little conversation here. What would be a good example? Can you pull up my transactions from the Spaniard? And so the chat capability, yeah, great. Oh, training and education. Because it's in the same conversation as the workshops being deductible. But the chat is fully integrated with Monty, and so you saw how that little box popped up and said transactions. That was doing a search in the background, and so you can use that to engage with it.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't integrate with the entire suite of available CRMs in the world, but what Monty can do is connect to tools like Claude. If you use some of these desktop-based chatbot AI agents, and that, of course, connects to CRMs. And so then within Claude, you can say, hey, could you go through my CRM and look for all of XYZ and then update Monty to mark them all as business expenses? And Claude will go to that tool, pull them through, internalize and understand that, and then link up with Monty. And we built that connection so that it can connect with the abundance of other tools out there.
What I have in my email, I have a whole a whole file for business expenses. So when I do an Amazon purchase and it's a business expense, I put that in that file. When I get my utilities bills, there's a portion of those because I work from home that can go to business expenses. So I pop those in that file. So any receipts or parking receipts that come via email, I put everything in that file. So even if I delete emails, those will stay.
Good method.
That's as organized as I get. That and a file with a whole bunch of papers in it. Any more questions, Monica?
No, that was really,
Yeah,
it was cool
that
to
was
see it in action. Yeah, thank you.
that was quick and easy, Elliott.
Yeah. Well, I know that we had originally said that we would perhaps do a workshop format where people signed up and did it. I don't know whether that's.
We didn't get the thing, but do you have anything you'd like Elliott to test for you, Monica?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's nothing. No, there isn't anything that popped in my
Okay.
head from it. Yeah, to test
It's
through it.
pretty straightforward, yeah?
Yeah, it is. It seems like very intuitive, which is awesome. Just, getting those connection points and then ta-da, it does a lot of work for you.
Good. Good. Are we done
Excellent.
already?
That was great to see. Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to let Monica know, Elliott? Or, I think there's a discount if you go into the classroom in the Fractional Referral Network, Monica, you'll see a box that says tools and discount, business tools and discounts. You can go in there and get a discount for Elliott, for Monty. Sorry.
Now, Elliott's for sale, not Monty.
Yeah,
Elliott
I'm half price, guys.
Elliott doesn't come cheap.
But
Or
yes,
he's cheap, but he's not free, something like that.
for Monica and anybody watching on demand, yet for all Fractional Referral Network members, Monty is half price, available in the classroom section, as Renee points out. And you just head over to monty.tax, which is our URL, once you've got that discount code, and sign up directly from the website.
How easy is that? All right. We'll call it a day. Thank you all very much. Have a good day.
Nice.
Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye all.